kind of sad when it comes to deciding that you need to unhaul books, but I think this puts the cherry on top. So this stack was probably like up to here, like where this top shelf is. It was probably in line with that. And then Miss Ma'am happened. So having a stack that high and know where to put them means that we're gonna have to get rid of books, which is not my favorite thing to do in the slightest. But we're gonna do that today. And I am gonna be putting these on PangoBooks. I basically caved in and decided to do that. People were saying that PangoBooks is a really good website to sell your books on. You can download an app to make it easier. Plus, I know some people were getting books for really good prices on there. And I just want to be able to do that. So we're going to go through and get rid of these books that I'm probably never going to read, or that I read and just do not care to have a copy of. And we're going to do that today. So let's go ahead and get started. First off, I should probably start by saying welcome to my channel. My name is Kendall if you're new here. But I already mentioned what we're going to be doing. And I will make sure to leave the link to my PangoBooks account down in the description below, just in case you see a book that you want and want me to send you. Just, you know, find me on there and I will be glad to do so. But we're gonna go. So I don't know if I've told you guys, my shelves have always been kind of categorized differently. My cat's making her appearance in my video by shaking the stand that my camera is on right now. But I have my shelves subgenred kind of. So I have them each in genre of what type of book they are. So I start off with like middle grade, and I have nonfiction, and then like regular fiction, like adult fiction, and it goes all the way down to like young adult. And then I have them subcategorized by alphabetical. So it helps me because I know where everything is. I might switch them up and just do everything in alphabetical order, but I kind of like having all of them together. So we'll see what happens. But I was going to start at the very beginning, but that whole fiasco of books that is happening over there, I don't want to deal with it right now. So that's a problem for future, Kindle. So I'm really bad about starting books. Like, I remember I started this one. This one is Outlawed by Anna North. And I never read with the dust jackets on. But then I put these back and just like sit them on my shelf and never put the dust jackets back on them. So we're also going to be finding them and keeping those intact. That was easier than I thought. I'm going to keep that one. I'm not going to keep these. I do not think I'm a Stephen King kind of girl. I want to be kind of, but I don't think that I am. So I think I'm going to unhaul most of my Stephen King books. I have one that I think I'm going to keep, and that is 11/22/63, just because this one's not like one of his normal ones. I did read like 100 pages of this, but I ran out of time in the span that I wanted to read it in, so I never picked it back up. I've not heard any good things about this one since I've been back on BookTube. I wanted to be one of those people that read it all the way through. That is not going to happen. So we're getting rid of it. I also wanted to read The Green Mile because it is one of my favorite movies. We're not doing it. And then I got this one. I don't honestly even know what it was about. I got it so long ago, and it is The Eyes of the Dragon. But I just don't see myself reading these books. So they gotta go. As much as it kills me to do this, because this book is such a pretty copy, I am going to unhaul The Haunting of Hill House. This is a Penguin Classic edition by Shirley Jackson. Very cute. Hated the book. Absolutely hated the book, which upset me so bad because I had such high hopes for it because I loved the TV show, but I definitely prefer that over this. I think I'm going to leave this one up to you guys because I really don't know what to do with this one. I have never read The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. I've never seen the TV show either. Everybody says that this is a really good book. It does have a lot of different worldviews to look at and different life lessons, I think, that would be really good to have, but I don't know if I want to read it or not. So leave a comment down below if I should keep it or if I should toss it. These are some of the books that we are tossing. I tried reading this, and it is Providence by Caroline Kepnes. I thought I might like this one because it is by Caroline Kepnes and I am obsessed with the You series, but I just couldn't get into it, and so I don't see myself picking it back up after so long ago. I don't know how people feel about this one. I don't know if people are gonna judge me for this. I doubt they will because everybody on here has, you know, very different tastes. I was talking to Keisha about that, and telling her, you know, I think it's so awesome, like, how we all can be on here and read all of the same, like, I think we all could be on here, like, all of me and my bookish friends be reading the same exact book. We would all learn different things from it. We would all like certain things and hate certain things, but I just like that some people like things that I like and some people hate them, and it's interesting to me to see who likes what and who hates what. But I'm unhauling Circe by Madeline Miller. I read like 150 pages of this book and I was bored out of my mind. I really enjoy Greek mythology, but when there is if I want to read about Greek mythology itself, I will read a nonfiction book and I will read it as it is told. But when it is like a fiction book about mythology, I don't want to read it like it's just a mythology story, if that makes sense. Like when you're reading things like the Odyssey is a story of Greek mythology, but it is told as a story, and you're reading it and there is action and there is character development and all of this other stuff, and I just felt like that was really lacking in Circe. I didn't like it. I'm sorry. I am unhauling Follow Me to Ground by Sue Rainsford. It is a very short novel. It almost looks like a novella. I read this and I didn't really mind it. I thought it was very different. I think I gave it a 3 or 4 stars. It was very weird and like haunting type of like body horror, and it was kind of like Wilder Girls but more adult, but not as good, if that makes sense. It was very weird. I got the lesson at the end, but I really don't know how I feel about it, but I definitely just am not going to read this again, and I don't feel like just having it on my shelf taking up space, even though it takes up very little. And the last one I got because I was in like the Shakespeare type of mood, and it is Othello, and this is the Barnes & Noble edition. I also thought this edition was just really pretty, but I just don't think I'm out of my Shakespeare phase now, and I just don't think I'm going to pick this one up anymore, so that's why I'm getting rid of it. These I all got together at a sale at Barnes & Noble. They are all true crime books, and I was on a very big, like, true crime spree. I was watching everything true crime and listening to podcasts and all this other stuff, but that's another thing that I've kind of, like, not grown out of per se, but I don't do it as often anymore. So I want to get rid of these. They're all part of the same, like, collection, but they have different authors and different topics. So this one is Chambers of Horror, Monstrous Crimes of the Modern Age by John Marlowe. This one is Evil Women, Deadlier Than the Male, also by John Marlowe. This one is Serial Killers and Psychopaths, True Life Cases That Shock the World by Charlotte Gregg and John Marlowe. And then Evil Families, A History of Bad Blood by Martin Knight. The next one was one that I bought on a, I think when they were having their Barnes & Noble was having their 50% off, good Lord, sale. And I was going to read it, but I don't know, I'm just not in the mood. And I'm a very big mood reader, so when I see things that I want to read at the time, I'll buy it, then I don't read it then, and then I'm like, I don't want to read this anymore. Which is not a good habit. Don't recommend it, but that's what happened. It is Full Circle, From Hollywood to Real Life and Back Again by Andrea Barber. She plays Kimmy Gibbler in Fuller House, which is why I bought this one, but The next ones don't really, like, go together, but they're all by the same author. They're all poetry books by Amanda Lovelace, but I'm not really... I've read one. I liked very few of the poems in there. I did get a tattoo of one. That one really stuck with me, though, like the words in it. But I don't know. But I'm getting rid of these. It is The Witch Doesn't Burn in this one. Break Your Glass Slippers. Woo. To Make Monsters Out of Girls. And last but not least, The Princess Saves Herself in this one. I also have this one, which is The Collected Poems of Emily Dickinson. This is the Barnes & Noble edition. There's nothing wrong with this book, and I do quite like her poetry, but I kind of just want to... I'm trying to set up room on my shelves, and this isn't a book that I'm, like, overly attached to or want to keep on my shelf. What are you doing? What are you doing? What's he doing? What? Kitty, kitty. What are you doing? Okay, this one, I'm going to have to work on getting the sticker off a little bit, but it is a poetry book called The Truth About Magic by Atticus. I picked this up when it was on sale, and I just don't think... I'm not all into poetry. I'm just not a big poetry person, and I don't think this one is going to be one for me. I don't have very many middle grade books as it is, so I'm not going to be unhauling any of them. There are a few that are like Barnes & Noble collector's editions of like classic books like Arabian Nights and Peter Pan and Alice in Wonderland. I'm going to unhaul them from my shelves, but my sister gave them to me, and I'm guessing she'll probably want them back because I kind of like forced her to. We're not going to talk about it, but I'm going to give those back to her and she can put them on her shelves. I am going to be doing this on different days. Like, this is just when I wanted to start it. but I'm not going to be doing them all today because I don't have the energy for that. And I have other stuff I have to get done. But I went through my top shelf that had my some of my mysteries and thrillers, my horror, my adult fiction, my nonfiction, and middle grade. And then I'm going to go through my second shelf, which has manga and graphic novels. And that'll be it for today. So if you see me wearing different outfits in this video, that is why. I also want you guys to know I'm a very bad plant mother. If you ever give me a gift, please don't let it be a plant I will happily accept, but it will regretfully die within a week. I even tried. I was like, I'm going to be a plant girl. I'm going to do it. I got a cactus, one of the easiest plants to take care of. One of the easiest plants to also screw up. And she's dead. Like dead. I want to try again. Leave plant suggestions below that aren't as easy to kill. Most of the manga that I'm getting rid of is like all in a series, but I have 2 that aren't. I read the first volume of Dream and Sun, and I thought it was really adorable and cute, but I'm starting to find out like what manga genre kind of like interests me the most, and it is like cutesy fantasy stuff. So like Witch Hat Adler and oh my gosh, I think fairy tale would interest me and stuff like that, like The Promised Neverland, Children of Whales, the Whales, stuff like that, that is like has elements of fantasy in it, but is also very cutesy. So I'm getting rid of this one. This one was completely on the other spectrum, and that is Death Note. This is supposed to be volume 1 and 2. I really thought I would enjoy this one because it's really dark and cool, but honestly, I think it's going to be too scary. Not gonna lie. Don't judge me for these. I got these, An Incurable Case of Love, volumes 1 through 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, because they are kind of like, they happen in a hospital, and this girl is like an intern, and it's Grey's Anatomy basically as a manga, and I was like, I like that, and I did. I read the first like 2 or 3, and I enjoyed them, but not enough to continue this series, and they're coming out quickly now. I think they're on like 7 or 8, so it's time to say goodbye. I also have The 7 Deadly Sins, volumes 1 through 9, and you may say, Kendall, those are like cutesy fantasy type mangas, and they are, and I really enjoy them. But if you know anything about these, there is an anime, and I do watch the anime and like it a lot. And the anime was created before the mangas were, and the mangas are basically just retellings of the anime. And so I don't want to watch it and then read what happens after I just saw what happened, if that makes sense. So I am going to respectfully get rid of these. Last but not least for today, I'm going to go through the graphic novels that I'm getting rid of. The first one, okay, I'm going to just go ahead and give descriptions of these. These are the ones that I have not read, and I thought that I would be interested in reading them, but honestly, they've just kind of like been on my shelf for so long that I don't think I'm going to get to them, and that's why I'm unhauling them. First one is Victor and Norm, A Gotham Love Story by Lauren Miracle and Isaac Goodhart. The next one is Under the Moon, A Catwoman Tale, which is also by Lauren Miracle and Isaac Goodhart. The next 2 kind of went together, and there is Runaways, Pride and Joy by Brian, what is his name? Brian K. Vaughan, I believe, yes. And the next one is Runaways, Find Your Way Home by Rainbow Rowell and Chris Anka. The next one is Batman Nightwalker by Marie Lu and Stuart Moore and Chris Wildgoose. Really? She decided to run through my stacks. and knock them all on the floor. Okay. Anyway, the next one is House of L, The Shadow Threat by Claudia Gray and Eric Zawadski, I believe is how you say it. And the next three that I have read them, but I just have no interest in keeping them on my shelves because, again, wasn't particularly attached to them. The first one is Mara, Tidebreaker by Danielle Page and Stephen Byrne. The next one is Harley Quinn, Breaking Glass by Mariko Tamaki and Steve Pugh. And the last one is Heavy Vinyl, Riot on the Radio by, let me figure that out, Carly Usden and a bunch of other people. So I planned to show you guys all of the books that I'm unhauling, but it is quite a few. So I think I'm just going to end the video here and pretty much, yeah, you know, just leave it at what we have that was unhauled. I did unhaul a lot more, but it's so much I didn't know if it would, like, I don't want this to turn into an hour-long video. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know, like I said, in the comments down below if there are any books that you're like, Kendall, no, you don't need to unhaul, just keep them, you will definitely like them, and I will definitely consider keeping them and reading them to see if I like them. But thank you guys for watching, and if you made it to this point in the video, go ahead and leave a little stack of books emoji, just to represent me finally getting out some clutter and bringing in some books that I will enjoy. So I will see you guys in the next video.